Guy parked so close to me I couldn't get out. So I was going into Foodland, a grocery store in Hawaii. I pull into the first spot available. It's angled parking and there are a couple other spots, but it was sort of crowded and this was near the door. I pulled into the right one of the 3 available. I checked my phone and replied to a couple texts I got while driving. This white truck pulls in next to me, leaving absolutely no room for me to even attempt to get out, and he rushes inside. So knowing there were 3 spots available, I told my girlfriend to exit the passenger side. I then backed out and pulled to the left of the truck. I parked as close as I possibly could and headed inside. I got my Coke and Dr. Pepper, and when I came out of his truck was gone, but I know he had to climb through the passenger side, which was all the satisfaction I needed. I checked my car for scratches of key marks because people in that neighborhood can be bold AF, but I saw none. And that's my petty revenge. Asshole neighbor knocks on my door at 3 a.m. for the last straw today. Backstory: I manage my landlord's IT services in exchange for a couple dollars off my rent. Occasionally, standing up a server or converting systems to VMware, etc. I live in an apartment split in a single-family home with one guy who is on a separate level apartment. My neighbor continuously has been making noise at 1 to 3:30 a.m., whether it's hammering, vacuuming or knocking on my door complaining. My landlord asked him to stop, but after a knock around 3:30 complaining how the internet is slow, I had it. The second time I've awoken due to him knocking on my door in the past 24 hours. I've effing had it. I logged onto our router last week and blocked all the porn and pettiness. This time I blocked his devices from connecting period until he grows up. It's always him cussing in a drunken rampage at insane hours in the AM. I went to knock on his door around 7 a.m. to tell him to F off and we're having internet problems. I'll turn it back on sometime. Next time I'm going to route his traffic through something and cause a 1-second delay in his streaming. Take my table? Okay, guess I'm joining you for lunch. This happened about 5 years ago when I was a freshman in college. I had 45 minutes between classes, so I stopped by the dining hall for a quick lunch. I had nothing with me except my student ID and phone and was plugged in, listening to an audiobook for class. The hall wasn't overly crowded but not empty either. Probably 75% of the tables were taken. I loaded a tray with food and, as all the 2-person tables were taken, sat my tray down at an empty 4-seater. Then I went to go get a drink. When I came back, not 30 seconds later, there were people sitting at my table. They had taken all 4 chairs and my tray of food had kind of been pushed to one edge. I did not know these people and the whole thing was a bit bizarre. There was another empty 4-person table just like it 2 tables over, so I saw no reason that they would feel the need to take this one that already had a tray of food on it. Not to mention I had never heard of anything like this happening before. The school was relatively small and most students were open, friendly people. So, I could have picked my tray of food up and found another table or confronted them and asked what the hell, but I had had a hectic day, I was starving, and only had 10 minutes to eat my food before I needed to walk back to my studio. Long story short, I was in no mood for this, so I simply pulled up an extra chair at the end and started to eat my lunch. They all sort of gave me odd looks and I just smiled and continued to listen to my book and eat. I finished in about 5 to 8 minutes, all the while them sitting in awk silence. Then I got up to put my tray away and went on my merry way. I never saw those people again. Also, I'm a girl, most people I think assumed I was a dude. Don't know if that changes anything, but there it is. Won't buy your own games, fine, I will just buy a disc copy. Hey everyone, I have been game sharing with one of my friends for the past few years or so on Xbox One, but he has stopped buying games over the past 2 years or so because he knows I will buy titles and he can just play them. This has been going on, saying he will buy a new game and then proceed not to because he knows how much I like buying games digitally and I will end up getting it. It's not that he doesn't have the money buying microtransactions in all of his other games and won't spend anything on a new title for both of us. So today the new Call of Duty comes out and he is super hyped for it, saying he has no cash but can't wait to play it. So instead of digitally buying, I went to the store and bought it. Thanks for watching and don't forget to give a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Have a good one.